Awesome. So we are live now. We only what? 1 minute? No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes past the time. So we doing real good. We doing real good. So we want to make sure we give everybody an opportunity to come on in here. So if you've made it into the room, make sure that you guys come on in into the stream and say hello to our author for the month of August. Hey, Ebony. Okay, I see you, Sam. Hey. Okay, they coming on in here. They coming on in here. So make sure that you guys are sharing it if you
Oh,
can.
good.
Make sure that y'all come in and say hi, Vaina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for.
Oh, what happened? Did I lose her?
Here. That was weird. I wasn't touching nothing. It just like booted me out.
Oh, there we go. I said, did I lose her? What happened?
I know,
Okay.
right? Like, how y'all lose me? Like, what we doing? Okay. So hopefully you can see me again because I seen this in the comments that it says like it looks like you guys lost me. So hopefully you guys can still see me. So somebody just come on in and say, hey. Okay. I see y'all. I see you. Hey, Shasha. Can you guys still see me now? I know I got it kind of like booted out somehow. Okay, awesome. Awesome. You guys can see me. So listen, let me go ahead and get started. Maybe they didn't want me to act like I didn't want to start talking to you or something. So they like, get to it, sis, get to it. So by all means, that's what we're gonna do. So good evening. How are you? Doing pretty
I'm
good.
good. How you doing?
I'm hot,
Good.
child. I'm hot. And I told you like before we came on, like I thought I was charging all my stuff and I was good to go, honey. And my outlet was like, no, ma'am, we not about to have electricity. We not about to charge your stuff. So that was the reason for the small delay, but I'm glad that we're here with you anyway. So I want to give you an opportunity to kind of introduce yourself to the world. I have a question that I am dying to ask. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself because you probably will end up answering the question for me. So I'll let you take it away.
They always like introduce yourself. I'm just like, I'm Aseera. Hey. I don't really,
Okay, so then let me
I'm
ask my
Aseera and
question.
I
Now
write
what
books.
you
There you
ask.
go. Yeah.
So there
Okay.
are a couple different names for you out there. And so I wanted you to tell us about those names and the significance of them.
It's just I only write under Aseera now. When I first started, you know, the first few published books that I had were under my regular name, my name, Asita Dula. But then I started to write under a pen name. And I told Ebony, she had asked me in the group chat, I mean, like, in the group, why, about
Uh-huh.
the
When you take over for the
pen
month.
name that I write under. Yeah, I was just hiding from my daddy. That's all. Not that he didn't know that I was writing books, but he's a pastor, and some of my books,
Mm-hmm.
they
So
got
you
some
might.
scenes in them, they got some words in them. So
So you ain't
yeah,
want
so
daddy to
that was just the significance of it, was to just go ahead and yeah, no, I did not. There's some that he can read, and then there's some that we hiding from him. So because he
God.
shared the ones that I sent him, he does share with other people. So that's why I chose the pen name. So I know on my Facebook page it says, author Asata Dula, but in parentheses it says Aseera. because that's
Mhm.
the only name that I write under is Aseera.
Okay.
The author Asatadula was just because I did have books originally under that name so that people could find them. So now it's just Aseera. I've changed all of those covers and everything, so everything is just under my pen name.
Okay, awesome. And I knew you had shared a lot of stuff because you were very active on the page this month. And so we want to show our appreciation to you for that. Because it was
No
great
problem.
having
I
you.
appreciate being
I
you
see you
guys
was
having me.
yes, we were in the meeting like, oh, she was super active. You came out with a bang. So I know you had shared that, but sometimes we may miss some things that get posted through the
Mhm.
month. So gives us the opportunity to kind of come back and talk about it and ask the question just in case somebody might have missed it. So, all right, Author Aseera. So, of course, we are going to be talking about a specific book on tonight.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you why this is going to be hard, right? Because there is three books in this series, The Return of the Chosen, or Return of the Chosen, I should say.
Yes.
And it was very difficult for those of us who had only read the first book to stay right there in the first book because everybody else who had went on and read the rest of the book, they want to talk about the rest of the book. So we in there just to fighting, just to going. Like, you can't say that because that was in book 2. Oh, well, that part was in book 3. Well, y'all should have read this. Girl, it was a
Spoiler.
it was a whole mess. It was a whole mess. But that just goes to show how much we enjoy reading this book this month. It was super refreshing because I know
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. I don't read paranormal. I'm trying to think if I have read anything else like that. No, nope, nope, I haven't. And so it was a great read. I know I gave it a 5. I enjoyed it a lot. I know a lot of the other ladies, they gave it 5s and 4s. So it was up there and it gave us some great discussion. And so I know that I'm here and I'm talking, but I know there may be some questions that you all have out there in the world. So if you do have something specific that you want to ask her, by all means, go ahead and put in the chat. I knew who the first person was going to be, Ebony, because she be coming with her questions, baby. So let's see. Let's see what Ebony says. I love this book. It was a refreshing change from our normal reads. Definitely was. And can you tell us where did the idea for this storyline come from?
Okay, so you know what? There are two different things. Like my storylines just kind of start to play in my head. Like, I mean, it's just like pressing play on a movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it was. So I just started to, in my head, see this story about, people who were really us. Once I really started to, think it through and write it out, who were, chosen. You know what I'm saying? And they were being, and I just started to see, them being chased and not really, living where they were supposed to live, and things like that. And also at the time, because like the climate that we're in, it's a lot of, say their name. You know what I'm saying? You can't really, it's just a lot of us being persecuted, which we always have been. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
By other people. So I did want to show that, and the fact that we're gifted, I'm saying, in so many different ways, and how intimidating that is to others, or humans, who the humans are
Yeah.
others. So I wanted to tell that. Yeah, so as I went through this, as it was playing in my head, um in the climate that we're in, I just kind of wanted to make it match, kind of make it match up. And for people to be able to see themselves, even though it's a fantasy book, I wanted us to be able
Mhm.
to see ourselves in these characters because we are these characters. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in real life, we don't
Yeah.
have, you know, specific gifts, like like, the sight and things like that, but we are very gifted and we are very talented, and people are, they're jealous of that and they want to steal that, and they, and mix and match it, you know what I'm saying, and come back with it. So I definitely wanted to express that.
Yeah, I definitely think that you did. And it was funny because when we were talking about the book, I said, you know, what was really interesting that I loved about how you wrote it was that although there wasn't anything specifically said about the race of the people, you could just understand what these people were and what they looked
Hmm.
like and everything. I was like, these people is
Yep.
black. They're black. You didn't even have to say
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
just
yeah.
you just you wrote it in a way where it was understood. And so that was one of the things that I
Yeah.
personally
Exactly.
admired about the work.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. And I do want people to get that when they're reading it. Because I do. One thing I will say is that I write for the culture. I really do. So in all of my books, what I'm saying, you'll see that. I'm saying. So even, I write Black historical fiction as well. So the kings and the queens and the dukes and the ladies and the, everybody, what I'm saying, the lords, and they're Black. What I'm saying, so I always talk about our hair and our eyes and our lips, and just the things that make us stand out, and just how we're regal and royal, and also how we have gifts. What I'm saying, we write, we read, we do all types of things, we create, in so many different ways. So I do write my books so that people, who are like, who are us, can see themselves in the books. So that's exactly, what I wanted people to realize is, oh yeah, these people Black. Okay, yeah, yeah, this is me. This is
And as
this
every
me.
said,
Yeah.
mission accomplished. Like we got it. I was like, oh, I know that's us. You ain't
Thank
got
you.
to tell me.
Thank
You ain't
you.
got to tell me nothing else but what you done told me in this story, and I know who these people are. They look like me and my cousins and them.
Yes. Yep.
So we
Exactly.
have another question from the chat. It's from Baina, and she wanted to know: is this series your first paranormal work of fiction?
No. So I have paranormal and I have fantasy. This book is more fantasy, because it doesn't have like the witches and the werewolves and the sirens and those types of things. It's more of, just like special powers or gifts that you were born with. So this isn't
Okay.
my first foray into that world. So yeah, my first paranormal book series is Forbidden. So it's the Forbidden series. So that's two books. So that was my first one, and it's about vampires, and it's got some werewolves in it, and they Black too. So so yeah, so that's my first series. So it's Forbidden Love, A Huntress in Love, and then it's a part two to it as well. So, and that's the Forbidden Child. I'm sorry. So that's my first foray into paranormal. And right now, I'm in the middle of doing another series, which I have done other ones. Like I said, I have the Siren series. I have, as far as fantasy, I have Awaken the Hunter, and I have The Unexpected. And to be honest, The Unexpected I wrote for it's a YA book. Like your teenagers can read it as well. The four main characters are legit named after my daughter and my niece, and they're two best friends that were always over my house, eating, playing in makeup, doing that type of thing, because I wanted a book for even our children, and our teenagers, and to be able to see themselves as well, as people who were gifted. So that's another one of my books. And now I'm like veering off into paranormal shifter romance. So I released the
Wait a
first two
minute.
books
Paranormal shifter romance.
of The Bite That Binds. So
Now we
yes,
have read something
yes.
like that
So
before
they're
and
shifting.
loved it. Oh
Hmm.
yes, the shapeshifters. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that stuff. But
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah.
you going
So
into kind of like what the differences are between the different genres because I was considering this book paranormal, but based off of what you're saying, we shouldn't actually. It's considered more so
mhm.
fantasy, then, correct?
It's fantasy. Fantasy,
Oh,
sci-fi. Yeah.
gotcha.
So it's more,
Okay.
yeah, because when you start talking about paranormal, yeah, you've got you've got the witches, and I'm saying, things like that, spells, and just different things like that. So for fantasy, I almost look at fantasy more like Marvel or DC type. Like these people have gifts for whatever reason. They were born with these gifts. Maybe something happened, like in the unexpected. There was, a storm, and the girls were driving through the storm. And that's how they got their gifts. You know what I'm saying? They're just simple,
Got it.
just little things like that. So when we start talking about paranormal, we start talking about, yeah, we're talking about witches, and we're talking about werewolves, and just and things like that. So there is a difference.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much for that
But I mean,
explanation
I don't
because
mind. Like, people look at, yeah, it's no problem. People say paranormal. I'm fine as long as you read it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but there is a difference. So I have fantasy books and I have paranormal books.
okay, awesome. And then I know that you mentioned that you um, write some of the historical fiction as well. So you want to give us some names of some of those books? That's my genre. That's usually like what I'm picking for book club. I'm the historic fiction person. We got somebody that's gonna do
Yeah.
some erotica and somebody that's gonna do,
Yes.
books like this, which Stacy is the person that selected your book. So I'm glad she did. But yeah, I do the historic fiction. So, I'm probably gonna be taking a couple
Well,
notes,
thank
if you
you.
don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yes. So a few of the black historical fiction books, and I'm specific to say, I always like to say black historical fiction, because that's exactly what it is. Because you do have historical fiction, and and I like that. So, like, I love history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a history person. I don't know why I should have gone to school for that, if anything else. So, and I love, like, kings and queens and monarchies and things like that. I mean, I actually, think that I need some ladies in waiting, and I think my kids need some nurses, so that I don't have to worry about, making three different meals in the morning because they all want something different. I could say, go on with your nurse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's how I feel. But I wake up like, I gotta dress myself today. What type
Like
of
this is
base
terrible.
stuff is going on? Who chose this life? So yeah, so I love it. So my first one was is the Reluctant Queen. So and that book was an ode to my family. So when you read through that book, hopefully, you guys will read it, and you see, okay, this king has six daughters and a son, and then, like, names of the places. They're related to my family, and also, where I grew up in Philly. So, they're like street names I've made into, their land and things like that. So I did want to kind of honor my family with that first book. I also have the Forgotten Prince and the Forgotten Queen. So that's another historical fiction. That's the series that I have out. And then I have the Lost Prince 1 and 2. So we
Wait, say
have
that
those
one
as
more
well.
time.
The
The
Lost Prince.
Osmonds.
Yeah, parts
Okay.
1 and 2. Yeah. So I have quite a few out. I have Regina, All Hail the Queen. I have The Queen's Plan. So I have quite a few black historical fiction books out. So yeah, pick them up, because if that's your
Okay.
thing, you're gonna love them. Even when, what I like to do, because I write in different genres, is even if, like, let's say fantasy is your thing, or urban is your thing, I want for you to pick up a book that is not necessarily your thing, and read it and be like, oh, this book, right, this is my thing now. So I want people to kind of, open up their minds to, different types of to different genres, and read the books and actually like them, and be interested in them. So that's another thing that I love to do.
That's awesome. So I want to try to stay on the book. It gets hard for me sometimes. My head just goes where it wants to go and ask all my little questions. But I'm back on the book that we read for this month. Okay, Return of the Chosen,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try so hard to stay right here in book one. I only read a little bit of book two, so it might be easier for me. But all I know is folks better not get in that chat and start talking about them other books, or I'm gonna be mad at you. So anyway, we do have another
She said no
question.
spoiler alerts.
Who were your favorite and least favorite characters in The Chosen to write about?
You know what? I think that my favorite character is Mercy, is Queen Mercy, because she's just, I wanted her to be relatable. You know what I'm saying? You know, she's a queen. She's known from the beginning that she was a queen, but
Yeah.
you know, she's been living this regular life, right? And that's all she wants for her kids. I mean, she knows that, you know, they have these powers and these gifts, and you know, she knows that her daughter, you know, is basically an anomaly as far as the gifts are concerned. But Mercy don't play by her babies. She don't play by her man, you know, or her people. And I think that she's really supportive. She's supportive. Yeah, she's supportive of, you know, him and the going back and all of that. But she lets him know, you know, that, you know, when what he doing is crazy, you know what I'm saying, and you know what she wants out of life. So I really like how strong she is. But you know, she's us black women, you know, that's what she is, you know what I'm saying. She don't play about it. And she, you know, and she'll let you know. And when you get further into the serious, you know, you'll see that if when it's time, you know, if she needs to step up, then she steps up. So I really did enjoy writing about about Mercy. I don't think that any of the characters were my least favorite. I think that General Ellis, you know, the things that he did and allowed, and the ways that he chose to you know, control some of the chosen people, I did not care
Mhm.
for, you know. So I wanted to get that across, you know, with him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I even to the point where like he, you know, he thought he was being nice, you know, because with them being in the camps, you know, they could see their family a couple times a week. And it's like we still up in concentration camps, sir. So I don't know what you know what I'm saying. So I find out what he wanted to find out, I was not okay with. So yeah, I would say it was General Ellis.
Mhm. General Ellis was my least favorite too. Oh, cause
Mhm.
I was ready to murk him, like for sure. Like by the end,
Mhm.
when we got to that end, and I'm just like, oh y'all, oh he really about to just like have a leg up on us a little hot. Yeah, I was mad. I was mad. He was not my favorite. He was so manipulative. Like, you know, like you said, oh, he gonna come and
Yeah,
talk like, oh, he's so helpful and oh, he's so nice and what he's doing is so honorable. And it's like, no, sir, it's not. You are minding business that's not yours. All of y'all are. The government,
not yours
president,
exactly.
all over this.
Yeah, all of
You
them.
are
Yeah,
creating
it goes
enemies
up.
for no reason.
Right. Yeah, enemies
Yeah,
that you don't have the power to win. And you know, it's so much like us black people. It's like if we get together, you know, if we would all come together, there would be no, you know, chance for you guys to, you know, have the hold over us that you have over us. So you know,
mm-hmm.
it's that type of situation. So it's the wanting to keep us separated. And you know, so that's, you know, I wanted to kind of make sure that that played into it as well, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's almost like he felt like he was being benevolent in some ways, you know what I'm saying, as he's, you know, hunting the chosen people down, you know what I'm saying, you know, and snatching them and, you know, taking them to these camps, and you know what I'm saying, and chasing them. And
This was so
yeah,
relatable.
like
This
he's
was
being
so
nice to
relatable.
them, you know. It's
Yeah. Oh, well, I feed you and I give you room and
yeah,
shelter. Like I am a prisoner though, sir. Like I don't have
yeah,
freedom because of you. Like you not that nice.
yeah, right. I
So
can't just leave. Yeah.
yeah, I can't just go and do what I want to
Right.
do. So yeah, he was on my nerves. For sure on my nerves. My favorite character was probably Ginger though. Like all in my
Oh
head,
yeah.
all I could
The best
hear was like, you know,
friend.
that little song where you know, the music start and he'd be like, run. and then it just take off running. Like that's what I think of every time I
Mhm.
think of Ginger. Ginger picked that phone up and was like, "You in danger, girl. Run."
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved it. True friend. It just reminded me of me. But I
Yeah.
do got a
And
question.
yeah, and Ginger,
Um,
yeah.
what Ginger
Mhm.
look like? What Ginger look like? Cause her name be
Ginger,
that
I was
too.
going to say Ginger is not black. Yeah, Ginger's
Yep,
not black.
yep. We said
So,
that.
yeah.
We get
Yeah.
smart.
Ginger is not black. Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you is. So, yeah, Ginger is white. But what you know what it is that some people like my son, he's very ethnocentric, so he don't care. He's like, but I wanted them to have an ally that didn't look like them. Just to kind of to say we're not all in on this. You know what I'm saying? We don't all feel like, just because you're different, you should be, subjugated and, and ruled over and, put into these concentration camps. You know what I'm saying? So they were friends. They'll have a, glass of wine. Their kids played together because
Mm-hmm.
the place that they lived in, Marlin, it was small. It was small. So it was more salt than it was pepper there. So, you know, that became her friend. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like maybe the sign that there are allies out there who don't look like us. So that's
Yeah.
kind of, what Ginger represented.
And that's very real. Because I mean, back to the realism of the book. In real life, that is the circumstance as well. As many generals as we can have out there, there are still plenty gingers. And so the
Yeah.
fact that you highlighted her and their friendship was was great as well. I like that. And then there was something else that you mentioned, and it's funny because as you talk about it, I'm like, we said that too. We said that too. And I think we talked about how the book represented this unity and how if we were to just come
Mm-hmm.
together and have been allowed to be together,
Come together.
um, how much better off us as a race that we would be. Um,
Yeah. See, and I that's exactly what it was.
mhm, mhm. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
we
that's
needed to
exactly
work
what it is.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was, and more so, yeah, that was exactly the thing. The thing was, when we're scattered and we're running, and then we're trading on each other. You got the traders, you know what I'm saying, who, like I said, in the group, somebody comes to you and they say, listen, they first of all, they kick your door in the middle of the night. you know they snatching you and your kids up, you know what I'm saying, and then they give you a choice and they're like, hey, you can live in your kids can live in these concentration camps, or you can use your gifts to help me. So that was just another way to keep us separated and divide us. So with the coming together, even bringing Alexis and Carrie back to Electi, I wanted people to see that when you come together, and even back to your land, like there were ancient powers that and gifts that they had, that they weren't even seeing anymore because they were scattered. So when they came back together, their powers were stronger, and they were
Yes.
stronger as a people. And then even Mercy, she like, now what's going on with this baby over here? Because I ain't never seen this power before, or the queen mother or the mother of the queen. They're like, well, we were here before, all together, working together, in Electi. So yeah, I wanted it to show that when we come together, we're stronger in that sense. So that was exactly like the underlying theme of the book.
That's great. Yeah, we definitely picked up on that. There was another um big conversation piece from the book that we had. And this one was related to um the whole okay, I want to say it. A girl was a snitch ultimately, and like you said, it was she had this ultimatum. Um to either, live her life how she wanted to live it without being in a concentration camp, or sell out. And so a lot of us felt like she shouldn't have did it. And then there were some who felt like, well, she got kids that she had to consider and think about. And so, yeah, I might have done it. And so I want to make sure that I'm
Yeah.
clear, maybe because I might have missed something. So, because I was under the impression that, not Mercy, what was the snitch name? Um,
Alexis,
oh,
you
what was
keep calling her a snitch.
Alexis, right? Because I got
You call,
mhm,
yeah, Alexis. Yeah.
her, the traitor, Alexis. Okay,
Trey, yeah.
so she wasn't living at the concentration camp. She
So what
wasn't
it
there.
is so you have your concentration camp, right?
Okay.
So let's picture you got the concentration camp and it's got the I'm sorry, my neighbors waving at me because I do my interviews in the truck, girl. Them kids and them dogs, I can't do it. I'm about to move in this truck. It's so nice and quiet and roomy. So so let's say you have in your mind you have the concentration camps. You've got the fence that goes around and all of that. But also what you have is you have like housing, like almost like apartments, that are inside that gate, maybe like on the other side, away from the bunkers and the barracks, it's on the other side. So they were living in housing. So it's on the
Mm,
concentrate, within the fencing of the concentration camp, but it's on the other side.
okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's nicer over there.
So she
It's
got
an
to
apartment.
live
There's
in the big
schools over
house.
there. You know what I'm saying? So right. Yeah. Basically, she got to be in a big house and her children too. And the one thing with Alexis is, I think that if it had just been her, then she would have just gone ahead and been in the concentration camps. But when they have something to hold over you, like your children, what she was concerned about was her children. She had two daughters, and her daughters would have ended up in the concentration camp and the where the children were, their section of it. So that was her thing. Her thing was like, I need to make sure that my girls are okay because there's no way that I want them, living over here in the concentration, barracks, bunker, and they can only see me, once or twice a week, or have, what I'm saying? So it was more for her
Yeah.
children that she made that decision. But you also have to realize that none of these people had ever been to a lecti. I mean, it had been to the point where some of the stories that they heard were almost like
Yes.
people like folklore, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, choose between this group of people who they ain't really never done nothing for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I've never been to a lecti, I ain't never met the king and the queen, for all I know they don't exist, you know what I'm saying? But I know that we're chosen, you know what I'm saying? I know that we have gifts and abilities. So if I got to choose between trading on these people that I ain't around, I ain't living with them, I don't know them, so that my daughters can have a better life and basically essentially not be in juvenile detention, then that's what
Mhm.
I'm going to do. So I wanted people to kind of be conflicted when they,
We
got,
were.
to Alexis, like, yeah, like, would I do that? Would I not? Because Mercy, the queen was like, listen, I can't tell you that I wouldn't do it for my babies. You know what I'm saying? So even
Mhm.
the queen was conflicted. Like, I know she was wrong, but I love my children, so would I have done it? You know what I'm saying? She questioned that as well. So yeah, I wanted that to like make people think, like, would I do that? I don't know, would I do it, or would I, what I'm saying, would I just allow myself and my children and my husband and whoever else to go and to the concentration camps?
Well, mission accomplished. We have to say that again because we was definitely like, ain't no way in the world. Like that wasn't a good enough like reason. Like I was one of those people that felt like, okay, but we're still captives. It's not like she out
Yeah,
here just footloose and
yeah.
fancy free living her best life with her
Mm-mm.
children.
Mm.
It was like
Nah, baby.
lesser of two evils, but they were still two evils. And so I just was like,
Right.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, I don't think I
Yes.
would.
Yes.
But everything that you just said, we had those people that was like, dog, I do it for my babies. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
definitely had us some dialogue about that part. Oh, this was another one too that we were asking each other. And so we're gonna ask you, if you could choose a power, what would it be?
I think I would like uh to be able to maybe manipulate time and even space, like where people are, where I am, in that time. So I think that I would probably pick that. Like, you gotta go food shopping. You don't really feel like driving over there, so you want to just pop up at the store. So like that type of thing. I think that I would like to manipulate those types of things, because it shows you different things. Like it can show you what happened in the past, and it can also show you and take you to what is going on in the future. So, and that was also one of the gifts that once the people started to return to electi, that gift began to come back, because it was a gift that they did have before. Like and if you haven't read Chosen Exodus yet, you'll kind of see what I mean. So I think being able to kind of like travel through time and teleport to different places in time as well, I think that would be an awesome power. I know some people like want to be able to read minds or control minds, but I think that that would just be like a headache for me. Like what I'm saying, I gotta hear everybody's thoughts all the time. I ain't got time.
I
So
agree.
I think yeah, so I think that would be what I would do.
Okay, and you know what, that was one of them, because we asked this question amongst ourselves, and someone was like, "Yeah, I want to read minds," and I was thinking to myself like, child, I don't want to know what the people is thinking. No, thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Ignorance is bliss over here.
yeah, a
Okay.
lot of times, right.
But the one
Yeah.
that I chose was, I would want the ability to heal people.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, there was someone else who wanted to heal as well. So we had a couple people who wanted to heal, and it was some other ones too. I can't remember what they were though. If you guys remember, put it in the chat, cause I'm forgetful, child. Let's see. Oh, yep. I think Ebony was one of the people who wanted to had a gift of healing.
Yeah,
Yep. Me and Ebony, we was on the
yeah.
same page with that one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a decent power. Especially when you're at war with people, you know what I'm saying, in different ways. You know what I'm saying? You do need healers. They're important, you know what I'm saying? And the chosen people they had healers. So yeah.
Oh, okay. And then see the future. So we had see the future as another power.
Yeah, like Queen Mother Ivy, she had the sight. So
Mm-hmm.
she was able to see into the future.
Cause see, I wonder. Cause I'll be trying to like win the lottery or something. I think they would just have to do away with the lottery altogether, because sis is gonna be at the liquor store playing them numbers on a regular basis. Cause I mean,
No,
I'm gonna be
listen, you
doing
sound like me. Yes, absolutely. No, I would. I would. No, I would definitely. They'd be like, give me that power back. Cause they'd be
that.
like, Alexis, get
Yeah,
that,
they
give them
gonna put
that
me in a
power so she
concentration
can't
camp.
see nothing. Yeah, cause
They
I
gonna know
can't.
something wrong with me. Not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
typical something wrong, but like, no, she out here stealing money. Something is wrong with her. Put her in the
yeah,
concentration camp. General Ellis gonna show up, and then I'm gonna need all of the people from Electai to come and save me, because it's just not gonna be fair. And I split some of my lottery money with you. I give y'all some.
yeah. And like the
I
drawing on
would.
Friday, just help me get out of here.
See what I'm saying? We can all eat.
Yeah, yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
residents of
Yeah,
Electai, come get your girl. I know y'all can do it.
yes,
Yeah, that would be
exactly.
mine.
Yeah,
Let's see. We
yeah.
got. Let's see
I
another question. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think that having the sight for Ivy, to her, was like it was sacred, because it is, you know what I'm saying, a gift. So she wasn't. thinking about those things. Her thing was bring the people back together. And when you guys get to Chosen Exodus, Ivy is in that as a young queen. Because that's why I said that I wrote it after I wrote the first two. You can call it a prequel, but you can read it in any, you can read it before or after. So she knew, especially as a queen. And I think it was a not a burden, but it was really really a heavy responsibility for her, especially knowing that her son was going to rule. She needed to do something to bring everybody back to Electai. So her having the sight, to her was like, she wasn't thinking about. And then she was like, you know boho chic type of woman, and she ain't need money, what I'm saying. She wasn't worried about that. But yeah, you and me, we'd have been doing the same thing, playing them numbers.
Do you understand me? Oh, we all go
Mm-hmm.
eat. I could see it now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had this big old pretty. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Whew, child. I need me a power or something. See, now you got me thinking. Dang, kid. I think I'm gonna play the lottery just for the heck of it. I mean,
Go on, play it. Go on, do it. See what happens.
I think I will. I'm gonna go in a Powerball or something. We gonna
Yeah.
see. Yeah, we gonna see, and I'm gonna share with y'all. Everybody that's on this chat. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm playing the lottery this week, and if I win, I'm sharing some of it with y'all. Not
Ah,
gonna
good.
do is tell y'all how much, but I'm gonna share some with y'all. Huh? I'm playing. And I'm gonna keep y'all posted too. Right? If I hit, look at that. I'm gonna pay my tax, and then I'm gonna let y'all have a little something. But if I get only like $50, y'all, then I mean, come on, I ain't giving y'all nothing.
You can keep your 50. You can
Yeah,
keep your
okay.
50.
Let me keep my $50. Okay, but
So you
anywho,
get 50 million. I'm gonna need to see some of that.
okay, okay. I can probably buy all the books. Okay, I can probably come through and buy all the books if I hit for a hot one.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
we have another question. Here we go. So, where are you in the process of bringing this to the screen? And do you foresee a movie or a series?
So a serious, we've already talked about it, being a serious. So where we are is, we've been, and we're continuing to throw events for funding.
Okay.
Um, like, we're planning some other events for September. We've got something going on for October, that we're gonna, once everything is kind of set in stone, we'll let everybody know about it. And also what we're doing is we're doing pre-production. Pre-production takes a long time. Pre-production, just for that 2 minute and 40 second uh clip, took forever. Because you have to, you got to find your
Mhm.
people. And then it's just everywhere. It's the places, it's the costumes, I'm saying, it's makeup. You have to find the people who are going to do this, everything. So right now we're in pre-production, and we're still, taking all, anything that people want to donate to do it. So
Awesome.
we're some place yeah, some locations that you may want, like that I see Electai looking, that I see, being a part of Electai, or being the concentration camps. Sometimes you have to, do applications to, be able to use that space and things like
Mhm.
that. We're looking into getting more hair and makeup people on the set, because, for the trailer, we only had one makeup and hair one hairstylist and one makeup artist. So we're going to need more. So we're kind of like reaching out to people. So I would say that we're like starting the pre-production process again for it. So that does take a while, to get everything in place. And now, since it is going to be, since it's a series, so episodes are going to be, 45 minutes or things like that. So, you got costume and wardrobe changes and different things. So, we're looking at, like, what do we want the queen to look like, in this scene, and the king to look like in that same scene. And, what I'm saying? So we're like laying all of that out right now. I do want it to be a serious. Like I want the episodes. I want you to be like, oh, I can't wait till next Thursday when it's next. When the episode come out. Like everybody was with Scandal and everything else. Like I want them. I want y'all to be like, wait, is it Thursday? Let me see if it's on demand because sometimes they'll drop it early on demand. Let me see. So I do want it to be a series. So we were thinking probably 5 to 6 episodes per book, and it's 3 books.
Okay.
And I know people want another book. They want a book when Mila is kind of like grown and ruling, and I haven't written it out. Yeah, I haven't said no, I'm not going to do that at all. But for right now, we just have the 3 books, so it would be 3 seasons.
Oh, wait. I love it because I'm just going ahead and put this out here. I'm an actress,
Mm,
so
wow,
I
I
travel.
got
I got
that.
me a little car and everything, and so you need a little extra or something, or more than an extra.
No, I got you.
By all
I
means, I
got
can
you.
send you a shot and all that stuff. Okay, we can talk offline. But I'm super excited to hear that because, like, I did a video before where I talked about how like the best stuff on TV was first the book. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so
Yeah,
some of my favorite shows, like you wouldn't know it, but they were books first. So
right.
to see it go from book version to on the screen is, I know, exciting for the writer, and it's exciting for us readers too. So
Yeah.
I am wishing you all the best, all of the
Thank
best.
you.
Every talk about stuff, give her one of your accents. Let me see what accent I want to get. Listen, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take this time to promote myself in this way. I'm not going to do that. But
Not.
just know that I can if I want to. Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh, she done got in the character. I know that's right.
Child, I be doing too much. I'm my only child, so I had time on my hands to develop all of this character. Okay. I was
I love
talking like
it.
a queen last night. I was. I was. So, but anywho, back to, it was something I wanted to say. What was it though? Oh wait, Tamara, your train of thought says you gonna have to get you some ginkgoba or something. Hmm. I was like, oh, I'm gonna say that, but I didn't forgot now.
It'll come
Um,
back to you.
but in the meantime, oh, I know what it was now. When did you actually? When did this book come out? When did this series start? Was it
I
recent
want
or
to
is it older?
say no. I want to say maybe 19. I want to say
Oh yeah, so it's
um
recent.
19, beginning of 20. Yes, it's only like a year and a half, 2 years. What it was is that the book was out, and we had started to talk about you know bringing it to the screen, and then COVID hit, and everybody was closed down, couldn't leave your house, this, that, what I'm saying? So, we waited a long time, what I'm saying, to kind of be able to start, working on it again, and still make sure that, everybody involved is safe, what I'm saying, with, Corona still being, COVID still being out there, the coronavirus. So, yeah, I want to say about 19 it
19.
was.
Okay. Okay, so this is fairly new.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not,
because
it's not
that's not quite 2 years, or it is 2 years, just about. Okay,
right.
I was
Yeah, right
wondering
around
how
there.
old it was. Okay, and you started
No, no.
writing it. And you started writing it how long ago? Like, how long did it take you to pretty much be like, okay, boom, I got book one, boom, I got book two, and here you go, book
Probably,
three.
probably like a week.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
For the whole
yeah.
series
Each one.
or book one?
No, for book one.
Okay.
Because with everything that was going on, it usually takes me about. I was trying to see if I had it on here. It usually takes me about 3 to 10 days to write a book. It used to be faster, But with COVID and being in the house with the kids and all of that, like my attention is kind of, and running the businesses now, pulled elsewhere. But it still usually doesn't take me any longer than a couple of weeks to
Wow.
write a book. So yeah, I pulled Chosen together. I would say it probably took about a week per book, with, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you a full-time author?
Yeah. Yeah, I run
Okay, and
I
you do
have
your
dream,
businesses.
yeah. Yeah, so Dream Wake
Okay.
Work, my skincare business, I have authors. So, that's work as well. My company Dream Wake Work, I also offer ghostwriting services, manuscript review, manuscript development, character development. So I have clients that I do those things for as well. Partnered in a fairly new clothing line, where we're looking for properties, like storefront properties, at this point over in California. I'm in Virginia, but my partner's in California. So we're looking for at properties out there, to kind of like, start putting our stuff in stores. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on. So sometimes, like, whereas it used to take me like maybe 3 to 5 days or so to write a book, it'll just take me like a few more days. But once the story starts playing in my head, I don't have the remote that to pause it, so I have to write it. So sometimes I'll have to stop whatever else it is that I'm doing and just go ahead and finish that book out, because it's going to keep on playing, because I see it like a movie. That's how my books come to me. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
a movie without the pause button. So you just have to so I'll just have to like put a couple of things to the side, flesh the book out, and then go back to the other things. So yeah, it doesn't take me a long
I
time
can
at
see
all.
that. Yeah, it definitely reads like a movie and series for sure. So we did another question for you. Does your children read your books? And if they do they like them, or do they have any favorites of yours?
Well, my um
Because I
so
guess their age is gonna be important in that factor too, huh?
yes, yes. So
Okay.
I have my children. My oldest is 24, and then I have a
Oh,
19-year-old.
okay.
Yeah, he'll be 25 on Christmas. Yeah.
You better
So
have a
I
25-year-old looking 25, ma'am. Go ahead. Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, he'll be 25 on Christmas. I just saw him up in Philly at the event too. So that's my baby. He has read some of my books. Since I've been writing, he has been old enough to read my books, but have I wanted him to read mommy sex scenes? No. So, you know, some of the stuff he like, mom, how deep do this book get? And I'm like, yeah, you might want to not read that one and read this one. So it just depends on what's in the book. But the books like Awaken the Hunter and The Unexpected, those are kind of like PG, 13 type books, so they can read those. But they're really proud, I'm saying, of what I'm doing, and I'm saying, so that they're happy about it. I also have a 14 and a 5-year-old, because I have 4 children. So
Okay.
my 14-year-old, yeah, the only one that, the only book he was just worried about The Unexpected, because all he knew was that his sister was in it, so he needed to be in it. He was like,
Okay.
Sydney is in it, so I'm gonna need to be in it too, and I'm gonna need me a good power. So I had to go ahead and put him in there, give him invisibility. So yeah, like one person in my family that reads my books no matter what is my nephew. So my nephew, like, he reads them all the time. So
Okay.
he's always in it, So yeah.
That's awesome. I know we are we're coming to a close on our hour, and so I have just a couple more questions that I want to ask, and then we can kind of close out. And that's going to be well, here I want to have you talk about your freestyle that was inspired "Cursed to Live Again." I think you did Freestyle
Oh
Friday,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
so why don't you tell us a little bit about that before we go?
Um Yeah, like, it was just the topic, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as I saw the topic, the that little bit of story just came to mind. So of course, on Freestyle Friday, I went ahead and I wrote it. And then, people, Ebony, I'm not gonna say no names. Ebony was, like, you need to write this out, you know what I'm saying? And some other people. So I just went ahead and from what I had written, I just started to kind of see the story play out, you know what I'm saying? And to
Mhm.
be honest, when I was writing it, I kind of felt the story there could be more to the story. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I kind of felt that there could be, but it was my first Freestyle Friday, and I hadn't been, in ICU, chat and for a while. So I was kind of new to it. So I was just like, okay, I'll just do this much. So it was kind of playing in my head. So when Ebony and a few other people were like, no, we need the whole story, yeah, I was able to go ahead and take a couple of days and write that story out. I knew it wasn't going to be like a novel, and I didn't want it to be, too long, but I definitely saw it playing out. So yeah, that one I did in like the full out one I did in just like a couple of days as well.
Okay, and that is your Freestyle Friday book. Oh,
Yes.
encouraged by ICU Reading and Social Network. So awesome. And it is available now
Yes.
for purchase. Yes.
Yes. On Amazon. Sure is.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So everybody out there, if you don't have it yet, make sure that you get it. And then before we close, I would just like for you to tell us if there is anyone out there watching and they are not familiar with your work at all, give your suggestion on the first book that they should read.
That to me is a difficult question because I write in so many different genres, right? So,
Okay.
I would have to be like, okay, if you like this, then read that. If you like this, then read that. But one series that is really, really close to my heart, just being a woman and loving, like, in support and sisterhood, I would say for them to start with the If He Loved You series. And that is a 4 book series, and it's complete. And the reason I say that is because it is contemporary romance, and it would be considered that as well as like women's fiction. But what I love about that book is those books are that they have everything in them. Like, they've got the drama, they've got the highs, they've got the lows. But the first book introduces you to 4 different friends and the situations that they're going through. One's going through a divorce, one's looking for love, kind of like trying to balance love in her work. One, is in an abusive marriage. And so, you've got these friends, and they're just like, they're successful, but they're super supportive of each other and everything that's going on in their lives. And then each of them gets their own specific book. And the friends come along in those books as well. And you just see how supportive they are. Like, how you have your girlfriend that give you the real, like, listen, you a mess, you acting up, you know what I'm saying? And the other, so it's like, it's real, and it's just such a sisterhood, and it's just I love all of the reads, and it also takes you through things that we've all been through, what I'm saying,
Mhm.
relationship things, work things, so I just love that series. So I would say start with If He Loved You, because once you read the first book, you're gonna be looking for the second one and the third one and the fourth one too, because you're gonna want to
Like we
know.
did, like we
So
did this one.
yeah, yes.
Well, thank you so very much for being with us. Our hour has come to a close, so I don't want to keep you. I know you got to get back in that house to your life, to the kids, the dog, and everything. So thank you for being with us. We have thoroughly enjoyed our time with you and your book. And if there is
Thank you
nothing
for having
else,
me.
absolutely, I bid you as well as the rest of the world wide web a farewell for the night. All right, y'all. Good
Bye, good
night.
night.